I was just gonna say, like, when I take people out on retreats, I'm kind of giving them a taste of what life is like outside of concrete bubble or jungle or whatever. Like the regimented schedule. Like I know that some retreats, they are really standardized and they're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Like mine are, I have an idea of what we're gonna do and like an itinerary, but the last one, it just all went up in smoke, and it was like we had to really play around and like flow with what we're feeling at the time. But it's I always tell people, like, this is how life is. This is not even like how life could be. Like this is not like a, bless you, this is not like a
thank you.
Or I don't know if it was a cough, but
Yeah, it was a cough, but
okay.
No, I was saying, like,
bless you anyway.
Thank you, appreciate that. No, the loss of control is part of life, right? And then kind of surfing with that.
Yeah,
like, and not looking at it as positive or negative, but like that's just what it is. I think that's a huge part of what people need to get back in touch with.
This is part of why this is part of why I say that I'm not into luxury, because the luxury is like hyper controlled. It's like it loses its soul because it's just like structured and rigid, and like there's nothing that's going to go wrong. So we're gonna pamper you and protect you from like anything that goes wrong. And really, like when you come back from a retreat like this, or a vacation like this, where you're like totally pampered, to me, I feel like you come back like weaker almost. You come back like with a like a distorted view of what life is or what life could be. Whereas like if you are in this retreat and some uncomfortable things are gonna come up. Like I don't care if it's like an ant bites you, or if it's like you go in a cold plunge and it's really cold, you know, you touch a worm. Like something that's scary is good. Like something that kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone, and it shows you like, okay, well, we were gonna do this, but we're gonna have to adjust. Like that is something that you go back to your daily life and you're empowered, because you're like, this is the muscle, you know, that you want to strengthen, is like your mind, your adaptability, your presence of like, I can handle whatever the life is throwing at me. So I kind of want to like, ingrain this in people as well. And
so, yeah, like, I love this, I love the way you're going with this, but like, I wonder, like, has there been like, resistance? It's like people are like, they're too used to that concrete cage, and they're not used to having so much freedom, not so much blue sky over their head, not used to the dirt in their hands. Like, how do you get people out of that to actually be open to growth? Because I think a lot of people are not open to growth, and that's a key thing. So I want to hear your
100%. Well, so I'm not at the stage yet where we're going on the shishi wild boar hunting trips and like we're staying out in a tent and like this eventually is going to be, potentially in the future, something that people really want to like push themselves out of the comfort zone. Like I'm not doing that at this point. I'm like, we're like really baby stepping it. And so I'm literally just bringing people out. We'll use activities like as tools to get people more centered, but 50% of it is just taking away the phone. It's like once that phone is going away and you know that you have to be here, you can't escape into,
social media,
a little slot machine that's going to give you dopamine or like whatever. Like you have to be here and embrace whatever it is. People immediately feel like way more connected and way happier. And so that is like a huge part of it. But then the other aspect of it, because you could do that on your own, right? But you're still going to be thinking about work. You're still going to be thinking about, yourself. So what we do is we'll have some activity like the eye gazing. So we'll look, for 3-5 minutes into someone else's eyes.
No,
just that, no
talking,
judgment,
right?
no talking, nothing.
Wow.
That
3
just
to 5?
Yeah. That is just something people don't usually do, right? And then
even with my own wife, I don't do that.
Maybe try it. It's kind of cool. Like it really makes you feel connected, right? And seen. by that person. So in a place like Tokyo where everyone is like avoiding eye contact all the time, like this is automatically going to be a state change for most people. So again, the point of it isn't the eye gazing. Like that's not the point, but the point is like that will help you be more present and more connected. And same thing with the ice bath or with the sauna or with like, let's be silent and just listen to the birds, look at the monkeys, like getting into your body and feeling like the sensations that are there, whatever's coming up for you. It might be uncomfortable. We might have an activity where you talk about something that's sensitive to you and you feel sad about it. It's like, it's okay to cry. We're gonna embrace whatever feelings are coming up, and that's really freeing for people. And that is really the magic, I think, of it, is like having some people there, that community that cares about you in this container. And it's a safe place to kind of be open and just like have fun.
That's so cool. I have so many questions to follow up on that. But one of them is like, have you found this to be universal and not, dependent on the culture that people were brought up in? I'm just saying like Japanese and non-Japanese, or city people, non-city people. Like, have you found these kind of transformative experience to be kind of universal in any way? Like,
I think so. I mean, it's human beings at the end of the day. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm not an expert. I haven't had any Japanese people. Actually, no, I had one Japanese, one half Japanese on my retreat so far.
Okay.
But like, they were kind of westernized and not really like the typical really domestic Japanese person. Okay. But I think it would probably apply to anyone.
Well, I'll have to check in with you next year about this same
but
question.
Ask me again when I've actually seen it. But domestic Japanese people like are not usually the people that come to me. So I don't have a ton of experience with like what would happen. But
not yet, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I had a second question to that. It's like, because you mentioned about being surrounded by people who care. But like, I feel like in most of these cases, you only met these people like a couple hours ago. Like, how do you shortcut your way to showing that you actually care? Because I feel like me crying in front of people would be really hard to do. Like, I don't know these people. Like, I don't. Yeah. I basically never cry anyway. But like, even in front of my wife, like, I don't know. It's just something I would be very hesitant to. But like, and then if I just meet people for like 6 hours and it's like, I'm expected to, to just be so open. Like, how do you get people to the level where they can trust you or really, open up like that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think you said a key word there, which is like expect. I think if you come in and you're expecting to cry, like, don't expect to be open. Don't expect like that you have to be a certain way or that you have to be, sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. Like, it's really what you're comfortable with. What I've found works though is just creating a safe place. Like, we're a team for this next 3 days. Like, we are a team. We're going to support each other. We're going to make some ground rules, like confidentiality. We're not going to share outside of this. We're going to like, support each other without judgment. We're not going to tell someone, hey, you should do this, like giving your advice. Like, that's not what this is about. This is just about no advice.
Oh, interesting.
No advice. There's no like, you should do this, or like, hey, why have you thought about this? Like, if the person's open to it and they're like, they ask for advice, then you can then give it to them. But fundamentally, this is just a place to like share and then share your experience. And because of that, I think it's different than a lot of friendships. Like, if you were to just have a conversation with a friend and go on vacation with your wife, or like, there's a relationship there because you're not strangers, because you have history and you also have like somewhat of a stake, in what that person's life is like, that it makes you a little bit maybe judgmental, or maybe if you're not judgmental, still sure. Like, it makes you, you want things to go a certain way. You want that person's life to like go in this good direction. But if you're strangers with no stake at all, you can kind of like elevate to just compassion and listening. It's not perfect, of course. Like there's going to be times when you want to give some advice or someone gives you something, but you just acknowledge that and you're like, you roll with that too. So I think that's the key.
That's huge, because I didn't know there was no advising or anything. Like for me, that would be so hard to switch off, because my default is just like, I hear a problem, like I want to offer a solution, try to help you, and I think I'm being nice, but actually now I think about it, like that probably is unnecessary pressure on the other person.
Sometimes, I mean, it depends how you frame it. Like you could, if it's coming from a place of love, and I know that, you telling me like you should build a website. Like, or like, no, this is how you could build a website. It's like, there's a should versus a could. That language difference is important, I think. And also knowing the intention behind it is like, you're not coming to me like this. You're coming to me like, I care about you, and this is like something you could do. Like, so that's, I think, different too. But yeah, when we're at those retreats, people aren't a problem to be solved. Like,
wow,
this is not a time to save anybody. You're here to save yourself. Like, you're here to work on yourself, and that's it. And you know what's best for you. That's like the fundamental principle, is like, you know what's best. You just have layers and layers of conditioning that are like preventing you from listening to yourself. And this is about like clearing that fog and reconnecting with whatever you're telling yourself you need.
That's cool
to do. So yeah,
because to me that sounds like, now I can really make sense of that, because it's like the that anonymous bartender, that you go, you sit at the bar and you just talk, you just pour your heart out to the bartender, and like that's you just need somebody to listen to you, right, and to hear you out, and not exactly, not judging, and maybe offering one or two words of comfort. Because I've never been a bartender, but I have been a DJ, and I will tell you, people have done that to me.
They'll just come up and tell you their life story.
Yep. Yeah.
Whatever's going on with their divorce, or like.
Oh man, I've heard stories.
Yeah.
And like, and I did respect that role, I guess. That people did see me as somebody who was not going to judge, or not going to share, or not going to leak, or whatever. That I did take that kind of as that role pretty seriously, actually. But
and the music
is
it. yeah. You can't, I don't think, but the music is key too. Like, some retreats are more musical than others, is what I found. Like, some people are more like open to let's just jam, let's just like use our like just improv even, or let's have a sing along, or we did some like intuitive movement. So I just put on some like Afro beat kind of stuff, and like we started like walking around, like dancing, and then like going in slow motion. Now you're an elephant. Now you're like acting out salaryman in Tokyo. Like, how are you gonna move? Like, but
salaryman dance.
Yeah. So the movement is key. The dancing, like the potentially singing and music. I think that's another way to connect people too. Is like sharing that together, like singing together, and just kind of like letting it all out.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's like what you were doing for people as a DJ. You're kind of like, you're creating this vibe for people, and they're really resonating with it. So they probably like think that you get them in some way, because you're like,
yeah. And I always took it into every gig that I went into, was that I'm gonna help people escape from reality, and that was really my thing. It's like I'm basically driving this spaceship with my music, and I'm gonna take you somewhere else, right?
That's dope.
And like that's how I live that life, right? And then it's kind of ironic to me now, or maybe it makes sense, I don't know, that like what I do now is make people face reality and deal with the truth of their life, right? And what really come face to face with who you are, and what you need to be. Like, but in a past life, I was doing the complete opposite of that, and telling people to to escape this life, and being the vehicle for them to leave.
I think that's, I mean, that's cool that you realize that. And I feel like it's an escape, but at the same time, like, they are also connecting with themselves and their bodies probably in a different way, that they're, maybe it's more right-brained. Like, we don't think of it as like real per se, but it's still our human experience, right? Like, and it can look a lot of different ways. Like, you can get high with drugs, or you could get high with a sauna, and you have, like, all of a sudden time slows down, right? Like, you are fasting, and it changes how you're seeing the world. So, like, but I get what you're saying. I feel the same. I'm here to help people face reality, but I'm also like, this reality is so foreign to them. It almost feels like a drug trip or like a spaceship container. Like, it's fun to see people's reactions to it. So, sometimes.
Getting them back in touch with reality of the original reality, I guess, before this technology or whatever we have. It is life. Again, it's not even like how life could be. Like, this is actually life if you just lived it. No, it's so true. Yeah, I mean, because in that way too, like, I always one thing I loved most, I guess, about being a DJ was being able to connect everybody in the room, like, into some kind of like shared empathy, where it's like you really do get to feel the vibe. And then like it didn't happen every night and every gig, but like when like it happened, like everybody just kind of clicked together, and like you're all really sharing that moment together. Like, to me, that was huge, and that was something so like primal, or like going back to the original way of how people connected. It was like that was such
how people connected,
cool thing,
like 50 years ago.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Yeah,